Hey guys, Josh here, and this is my review of Homestead Arcana. Developed by Serenity Forge and published by Skybound Games, Homestead Arcana puts you in the role of a farming witch whose goal is to heal the world of a mysterious dark forest called Miasma. The game released on Steam on April 21st, and it is also available on Game Pass. I'll tell you how my experience with this game went, what I liked and disliked about it, and by the end of the video you should have a good idea of whether or not this game is for you. The first thing you do is create your character. There is one slider that changes the appearance of your body and face from feminine to masculine. Then you get to pick your skin color, hairstyle, hair color, and that's pretty much it. So it's not necessarily the fanciest character creation, but it is good enough and allows you to jump into the game very quickly. Right after, you're presented with the strongest features of this game, the story and voice acting.
As a matter of fact, we used to live all over the surface of the earth.
The narrator tells you how the world has been corrupted by this mysterious and dark force called Miasma, and your goal is to fix it. Actually, I feel like this is a story we've seen time and time again, but from the narrator to the different characters you'll meet throughout your adventure, such as your cat companion Huckleberry, the voice actors are all very talented, and it is fun to listen to what they have to say.
I don't want to alarm you, but a creepy lady just casually walked out of the Miasma, and now she's standing around like she owns the place.
Outside of the main story, a lot of work was also put into the lore of this game, and there are tons of characters who have interesting things to say and knowledge to share about the world. However, it's all done through journals and letters. If you're in the mood for a lot of reading, you will be able to appreciate it and really immerse yourself into this magical world. But if you're like me and you know that you won't take the time to read because it's really a lot, sometimes you can get 3 or 4 different letters in one day, then you will be missing out on the universe the developers worked so hard to create. Thankfully, most of the main story stuff is voice acted, but everything that is side quests or optional is text-based. In terms of gameplay, I know most people who watch this channel are into farming games, and I thought Homestead Arcana was going to be a farming game, which is why I'm covering it on my channel, but it's really not. You still do grow some crops, and it's one of the first things you learn, so here's how it works. After finding a seed, you plant it in your garden, and you can then interact with the seed. There's one button to summon a tiny rain cloud that waters the crop, and another button to channel energy to the crop, which makes it grow instantly. You can then harvest the crops, and I like that you can actually touch and move the different parts of the plant, and you have to pull on the crops to harvest them, so it is something I haven't seen before, and it feels pretty realistic. After harvesting, you can channel the plant again to make it grow back instantly, or you can wait the next day. However, be careful. If you channel a plant too many times, it will become sick and take a while before it goes back to normal. There is a potion you can brew to heal plants called the Sunlight Liquid. I made one, but couldn't figure out how to use it. For some reason, it cannot be consumed like other potions. I also tried dropping it on the crop. I tried a ton of things and I was just unable to use it. If you did play this game and you know how to use the Sunlight Liquid, please let me know. However, it was pretty frustrating, and the item descriptions or tutorials didn't help me in any way. That being said, crops never completely die in this game, so it eventually did come back to normal. However, this was my only corn crop, and I needed a lot of corn at the time at the beginning of the game to craft potions and things like that. So it was kind of annoying to have to wait for it to come back to normal. And that's pretty much all there is to farming. For the most part, you just plant something once, water it regularly, and you will have crops every day, which are then used to brew potions and prepare food. There's also an area you can explore to gather extra materials, but these are the main things you do on your homestead, which is the peaceful area of the game. You then go into the Miasma where a countdown starts, so there is a time limit and the music gets tense. The music is pretty good, it sets the tone and matches the atmosphere pretty well. Your goal is to heal the scars in the ground by applying fertilizer to them, which can be crafted using seeds found in the area. So for example, you go into the Miasma, you find a cabbage seed, plant the seed, harvest the cabbage, craft the fertilizer using the cabbage, then you go back into the Miasma, apply the fertilizer to the scar, it unlocks a new area, you continue, you find a new seed, and repeat the process. While in the Miasma, you also encounter a wide variety of dangers, like monsters or spikes trying to kill you. You can't fight back, and if you die, you lose everything you found in the Miasma and have to start over. But what you can do is drink potions that enable you to cast spells, giving you abilities such as highlighting where enemies are so you can avoid them, becoming invisible, or slowing down time. You have to use those spells carefully, however, because your mana drains extremely quickly while casting them, and I don't know if it's just because I went into this game expecting something relaxing, but the fact that you're somewhat powerless and always running away or hiding made the experience pretty stressful. When you were a kid, did you sometimes at night turn off the lights and then run as fast as possible to go back to your bedroom because you were scared of some imaginary ghosts or monsters? That's how this game made me feel when I had to run through an area filled with monsters I couldn't see, and I had to do so as quickly as possible before my mana ran out and the monsters killed me. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but this might not be the kind of experience you're looking for if you think this is gonna be a cozy farming game. On top of that, every time you go into the Miasma, you have to go back through the same path and overcome the same monsters and challenges all over again, which can get pretty repetitive and tedious, especially since you have to drink a potion every time you want to use a spell, so you have to brew a lot. It's also easy to get lost since the map is a bit tricky to read, and the Miasma is very monochromatic, everything looks the same, and it makes it hard to understand or remember where to go. Add to that the fact that you cannot jump, exploring can be a bit frustrating. The Miasma is divided into 4 big regions, each can take between 1 to 2 hours to complete depending on your skills, and after completely clearing a region, luckily it will become safe and you will be able to fast travel between the different scars. Outside of the main story, you can do quite a few things. Like I said earlier, there are tons of letters that you'll be receiving, and those are linked to side quests, most of them requiring you to find specific items or materials, and you can also spend some time decorating your homestead. Unfortunately, the game did not manage to capture my interest enough for me to do all of these things. To conclude, if you're looking for a short experience in a mysterious, sometimes scary world, and you're in it mostly for the story and some exploration, Homestead Arcana could be a good game for you, especially if you already have Game Pass, and it doesn't cost you anything extra to try. On the other hand, if you are expecting a farming sim, be aware that it's not really what this game is, and the farming and crafting mechanics don't have much to offer. It's not a bad game, but the gameplay loop is repetitive and it doesn't do much that you can't find in other games. So what do you think? Have you played Homestead Arcana? Did you like it or not? I'm curious to know, because even though it really wasn't for me, it might have been an amazing game for you. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next video.